Hey, what is up, everybody? It is Dirty and
DZAN, what is going on, people? Today is Wednesday, July 6th, but for you, Friday, July 8th. Man, the Super Bowl of the UFC just went down last weekend, and holy shit, was it filled with drama backstage,
lots of
drama
that.
in the octagon, and a couple of
Triple
boring
C,
fights.
baby.
A couple of boring fights. Triple C was on one. We're going to get into that. No fucking doubt. But of course, before we get into anything, ladies and gentlemen, if you love the content here on this channel, smash that like button, comment down below with your thoughts on what we're talking about today, and subscribe if you are new. Dirty D and I do this for the fun of it, and it's always fun when we get more of you supporting the channel. Thank you for those who watch us.
Right on to that.
All right, man. So UFC 276, brother. Let's get right fucking into it. First things first, Rose Clark, first fight of the night, gets her fucking arm snapped. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Poor, she's a cute Aussie. It sucks.
Very cute.
You know,
yeah.
she did tap before the arm snapped, but the referee didn't stop it. So the fighter was like, I take this with me.
There was another fight. And I hate to jump ahead, but there was another fight there where I forget what fight it was. Somebody's hand was weighed underneath, and it was hard to see him tapping.
Yeah,
I think Herb Dean was there or something.
Herb was right under it, watching.
Yeah.
Jessica I retires after her fourth loss in a row. She's 37. You know, makes sense. Best of luck, Jessica I.
Peace out.
Yeah, fucking for real. I wasn't trying to be rude.
You know I'm not gonna stop.
Peace out. I said makes sense. Best of luck. As I'm saying that. Peace.
Sorry about it.
Bye, Felicia. All right. Ian Gary, man.
Oh,
he had a dominant performance. Wasn't a finish, but look, you can't expect a finish every time. Oh boy.
Man.
And he's accurate too, man. After 3 rounds, and he still looked fucking clean. Come on, man.
Gave a lot of love to Connor.
Come on, Ian Gaddy. Yes,
Ian Gaddy. Dude was, man, he was so quick.
Yeah,
I was stunned. I mean, he threw a 4-punch combo in the first round, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! Where did that guy come from?"
And he can throw those fucking head kicks really close to you. Like he doesn't have to be very far.
Yeah, you're right. I only seen him fight one other time, but
yeah,
I don't remember him being like that.
Yeah, man, he was fucking lightning fast, and it was a good dominant performance over 3 rounds. Showed that he can go the 3 rounds without getting, battered, and he had the stamina to.
And he had good competition.
Yeah, no shit, man. That is, Gabe Green is no fucking slouch. Listen, Cowboy Cerrone.
Yeah, man. It's time, but I mean, it was time a couple years ago, right after the Connor fight. I think
he was really holding out for the crowd, man. He was holding out for the crowd. I really felt it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Dude's a legend.
Yeah.
And deserves all of the flowers he's going to get.
Oh yeah. They let him go out the way he wanted,
Yeah.
Besides the win, obviously.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, brother, because, even we tend to shit on the UFC sometimes.
Right.
But not often, but there's certain things that bug us, and we don't hesitate to point them out. But you know what? We got to be consistent here too, because the fact is that was absolutely awesome.
Yep.
And to have Sean Shelby, take care of him the way they did, you got to hand it to him. It was just an awesome evening for Donald Cerrone.
Yep.
Obviously it could have ended better for him, but
regardless, you know what? He's going to be a movie star.
When he said that, I'm like, oh, Donald,
come on, Cowboy. All right.
You're not going to be a leading man.
Chill, come on now. And you're not fat enough to be a character actor. All right.
Right on.
So before we move on to the main card, I think it's only right we talk about the drama in the behind the scenes. What do we go after first? Drunk Dustin Poirier or drunk Henry Cejudo?
let's you know, I didn't see the Poirier thing until the following day. I heard about the Triple C stuff that night, but
I mean, how could you not? He did his rounds. Let's talk about Henry. He fucking
sure, yeah.
His altercation with Sean, which was a scene right out of The Office. I mean, did you watch that? The
I did. Yeah.
Oh my God, to have Uriah Faber in the background laughing, Davison Figueiredo, a non-English speaker, wondering what the fuck is going on. It was the best comedic performance ever. They all deserve awards. They all fucking deserve awards. That was fantastic. Henry was obviously drunk. You know what I mean? And
obviously,
I want to say, as much as I don't like giving praise to Sean O'Malley, he held his fucking composure really well for the camera.
Yeah.
And he did fucking good, man. He did really good. He made Henry look stupid.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and I was glad of that. It's not
a hard thing to do, but when he's pressuring you in public like that, he did good.
But hey, yeah, you're right though. Let's back that up, because Triple C makes it very easy to do that.
Yeah, but you know what Triple C struggles with is a bad actor. And that's where we get him and Aljo. Okay. Because that was the worst WWE promo I've ever seen in my fucking life, with them being face to face. That was the smallest push. Okay. They could have at least sold it. Like when Brock pushed, Daniel. When Brock pushed Daniel, at least at that moment, you're like, oh shit. You know what I mean?
It got real.
Kind of knew it was a work, but when he pushed him, you're like, oh my God. That was like a
John Jones in DC.
Like, oh my God, yeah, no shit. But when you see that push, it looks like he's like, I'm gonna push you.
Yeah, exactly.
Just come on, man. Yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible. And then after the Volk fight, then he had to pull him aside and was like, look, man, I respect you. I just want to make history. Come on, Henry, go sit down, brother. I love you, but shit, that was a bad look for Henry Cejudo Saturday night.
I'm not a fan, as you know.
It was hard being his fan that night. Let me tell you, that was a rough one.
That was rough. And then your boy, your favorite fighter, I don't know what he was doing. I mean,
which one?
Your boy Poirier.
Oh, I'm sorry. You mean Jolie's wife? Okay,
Jolie's wife. Yeah,
Jolie's wife. I'm sorry. Dude, he got drunk as fuck on his own hot sauce.
And all of that shit that he talks about Conor, with appropriate time and all of this stuff, and then you got a man with this kid.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you're gonna attack him. And you talk all of that shit about taking a high road, and you're such an awesome person, and and we've already pulled back part of the veil on his bullshit ass fundraisers.
And okay, and I'm gonna talk real quick. Let me interject real quick with now. Right here, if you don't remember, look, I hate Colby Covington with a passion, but if there was one thing he was right about, he said, look at the video with Dustin Poirier knocking out this freaking 19-year-old kid and saying, and knew. He said he would do this on a regular and would grab the amateurs and would pull them in the ring to just fucking brutally kick their ass.
And this is what bugs me about Poirier is he is so fucking two-faced, and he tries to project this image. He's going to be a role model for his daughter, and Jolie needs a good husband that doesn't go out and drink whiskey all weekend long, and all of these things that he talks all of this mad shit about.
Yep.
And then look, when you pull back that veil just a little bit.
Yep. And you heard it. You heard that same fucking Poirier come out when he was, you're fake as fuck. I'm gonna fuck you up and all this other shit. And my man, Michael Chandler, calm down. I'm gonna hold this division down. When you're ready to come back from 170, I'll see you at the top. Come on. That you can't fucking reply better.
It couldn't have been a worse target.
No.
For Dustin, because Michael Chandler is so likable, and his family, his love for Connor, his love for Dana, his respect for the game itself.
For the game, exactly. He wins people over more and more every time he talks, man.
And when he's calling people out, he's not doesn't do it disrespectfully.
No,
especially when it's somebody, like a Conor McGregor,
right?
Where, he feels as though they deserve that respect. And so, I don't know, man. I think Dustin Poirier's got some demons he's dealing with. I really do. And I don't want to make any accusations here, but substance abuse is a motherfucker. But let's move on.
Yep. Let's move on. Let's talk. Listen, we talked about the drama in the prelims. We talked about the drama backstage. Let's get into the drama in the main card. And boy, did we have it in the very first fight. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Pedro. Let me find a way out. Munoz. I am really upset, man. I'm really upset. Pedro Munoz, for those of you that don't know, is drawn to a no contest 3 minutes into the second round due to an eye poke. And he got a lot of flack from a lot of people saying that Sean was, hitting him up. And it was actually a very close first round. He wasn't hitting him up. It was actually a very close first round. The second round, not so much. And he did get poked in the eye. Pedro, in his defense, released his medical, thing out, which he didn't fucking have to do. First of all, you don't have to put your medical shit out there for fucking anybody.
Right.
But with a fan base that Sean has, you know what I mean? To quiet some of the trolls down, you put it on there. It only made things worse because the only thing on the paper said acute eye pain. And there was even some fighters lighting him up for this. And Dirty, what are your thoughts?
Well, my feelings about Sean. I hate the fact that he's gotten all of this hype fighting nobody.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I kind of said this a little bit last time we talked about this potential fight, but Pedro Munoz is not exactly a name.
No, and ranked, but not. I mean, what's the biggest thing, right? What that we can think when it comes out? Pedro Munoz knocking out Cody Garbrandt.
Right.
That's really why this fight was put together, and he's got a number by his name, right?
Right. But the problem is it was his only impressive fight.
Right.
And so here we are again. And I understand that they cannot have Sean lose. Okay. The UFC, they cannot afford to have Sean lose. Not with his fan base. But keeping it real, it's getting past the point now. I think, matter of fact, we're not getting past it. I feel as though we're way past the point of, okay, we're going to just kind of coodle this guy along here as softly as we can with the softest gloves we can use, because we need that fan base of his. Listen, man, what are we doing here? At some point, it becomes absurd. That name me another fighter that's had as many fights as Sean O'Malley has had, that you can only recognize one or two names. There's no such thing. It doesn't exist. This is the first time they've done it this painstakingly slowly.
Yeah.
And his fans can bark all they want, but his fans are just drinking the Kool-Aid. It's not based in reality.
So do you think that Pedro Munoz legitimately got eye poked and couldn't finish the fight?
No. What I'm saying is that Pedro Munoz was yet another Eddie Wineland along the way.
Got you. Okay.
We're using a former name to build up Sean O'Malley.
Right.
And we
Right.
keep
Right.
doing this, but these former names are former
Mhm.
names.
Yeah.
Eddie Wineland.
Yeah. And this was the first time he actually had somebody ranked for it to go
in a
down like
ranking.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
But here's the thing though. At the end of the day, we have the first time he's fought a ranked fighter, the first time, and he lost. I understand how he lost. I get it. But the fact of the matter is that that's the facts. The first time he fought a ranked opponent, he's lost.
Cheeto was ranked when he fought him.
Cheeto?
Oh, were you talking about? No, well, this one was a no contest, so he doesn't lose.
Well,
it wasn't a disqualification. I mean, he'll
okay.
be 15-1-1, but
Doctor stoppage.
To his eyes, he'll be 17-0. You know what I mean? If you ask him, he's 17-0.
Of course, but the fact okay, so he didn't lose, but
no contest.
He didn't win.
They're going to give him somebody else ranked. Watch it. They'll give him the next name under Pedro. That's 14, and we'll see what happens then. Maybe we'll have to see. I mean, he didn't get injured.
I think the point that I'm trying to make is when is he going to fight somebody that we know, somebody that's going to give him any kind of fight?
Well,
because all they're doing right now is this is just a setup, because he won't sign that new contract because he wants Connor's contract. He wants it so that the pay-per-view points are already built in, that he doesn't have to renegotiate that every time.
Listen, he's playing it smart, man. He's playing it fucking smart. He's doing the slow burn, and as much as we hate it, it is fucking smart because his fame.
Smart, or is it very fortunate? Because
listen,
the fact is that there's nobody else on that roster that can do that.
Right, and you and I know that he's not as good as he says he is. He's not as good as his fans think he is. But in order to maintain said fan base, you need to keep up this kind of,
I disagree. I don't think that he's doing anything. I think it's the UFC that's driving this whole thing. I think that if you take the decision away from him, the UFC can save him from himself. Because I think that his tendency, if it were his choice, he would go fight Cody Garbrandt. He would go fight TJ Dillashaw. Right. But the UFC is going to keep that from happening at all costs, because I think they know deep down inside that he's an above average fighter.
Kind of. And I think he kind of knows it too. And you know what? Why wouldn't you use the UFC as an excuse to help you, maintain your fandom without keeping you in too much, danger while you're trying to fucking progress? He pretty much started his career in the UFC. He's had 9-10 fights in the UFC with only 16 overall. That's not many for a UFC fighter that has had 10 fights in the UFC. You know what I mean? So he's pretty much learning.
Well, that was he's because a Chase of the Contender series, though.
But exactly, he's basically a Chase Hooper, learning as he goes. But the good thing about Chase Hooper is Chase doesn't have as many fans as Sugar, so he can get away with taking those kind of names to help build the portfolio as the fans come. Sugar's the older way around. He has so many fans, but he's not really there yet skills wise. I don't think. And I think that he knows that. And he has even said, that he's totally comfortable with taking it slow, because as he builds up, the money's only going to build up, and it's smart.
That's
smart.
Why he's doing that though.
Right.
It's not, I think you're reading too much into it. I think it's the UFC is shackling him. I really believe that with all my heart. I think that he does believe he could beat TJ Dillashaw. I think he believes that wholeheartedly. I think they're saving him from himself. That's the way I see it. Now, whether whoever's right in this situation, it doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, he hasn't fought anybody.
Right.
And that's where I'm at with it. And at this point, as many UFC fights as he's got, I mean, this is absurd at this point.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. We'll see if he gets it, since he didn't get injured or anything like that. We'll see if he gets another one maybe in October, December. There's always those other big fight cards that happen in November, December. So we'll see what comes his way.
But I don't know if you heard before we move on, he because he pointed out that he doesn't want to sign the contract that the UFC wants him to sign, because again, he didn't say this, but it seems to me the only because he flat out refuses to fight in a main event, because he's not getting those pay-per-view points built in. He has to negotiate it every single time, and the only person in the contract or in the UFC with the contract that does that is Conor. He's the only one that the pay-per-view points are built into
the contract. Right. I got you. Well, anyway, see if he can pull it off, little baby Conor over there. We'll see if he can pull it off.
Chase's brother. Yeah.
We had Robbie Lawler. Holy shit.
Oh, by the way, listen.
What? No, we're good. We can move on. Yeah. I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I know you do. And I'm not gonna let it go. So he reached out to me, DZAN reached out to me Friday, and he says, "Hey, I need your picks in." I said, "Okay." So I sent him my picks. 5-0.
Yeah,
I got all 5 right, DZAN.
Yeah, and good thing we chose all the same, because we were both right. Yeah.
Can you count that high?
I can count really close to that number. And you know what? I picked all the same ones that Dirty did, so we both got 5-0, right? Dirty D.
No, but nice try.
No, I did. I went 2
3 and 2. Oh, 2 and 3. Yeah, 2 and 3.
I did. I went 2 and 3. And one of them was this next one. We had Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena. Holy shit, what a good first round that was. That first round, a good back and fucking forth. But man, Brian Barberena stopping Robbie on the feet, man, at the end of the second round. Oh, it's always so hard to see, but man, what a good fucking fight, man. Robbie, doesn't matter, man. He brings it no matter what. It doesn't fucking matter. He's going to bring it to you, and it's going to be bad.
He's going to be ruthless. He's always going to be ruthless.
He's the 170-pound Gagey. You know what I mean? Like, he's just always going to be in there fucking, he's it's
the
going
original
to be
Gagey.
Yep, you're damn right. You're damn right. That was one hell of a fight. It is always tough to see, a veteran like that lose.
Well, he's one of my top 5 favorite fighters of all time. So
but
that broke my heart, man.
But it's always good when it's on their shield. You know what I mean? It's not like the Jared Cannonier fight with Addison, not Adesanya, with motherfucking Anderson Silva. That was tough to see. You know what I mean? Because it was a dominating fight for Jared, and it was a horrible leg kick that ended.
There's been a number of fights that are coming back in my head right now. Right. I'm thinking, where it just breaks your heart.
Tough, exactly. It's tough to watch, and you rarely get those with Misha. If you're dirty, Rhonda, if you're DZAN.
Have fun
so let's see, man. Next fight, I was very excited about this one. Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland, and boy, did it go down exactly how I wanted it to. That left hook cemetery is one of the heaviest fucking
that
punches.
Dude has concrete in his hands, man.
No shit. How hard is that fucking left hand?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sean Strickland, I know you don't like him, and I get it.
But look at his sparring. I mean, that motherfucker could take a hit. And
so I was going to say, because it's not easy to do that to Sean Strickland, man.
No. But with how hard Sean spars, that was, I saw a head kick maybe, because I didn't think that he'd be able to do that with his hands, to be honest. Man, and the 2 follow-up shots, how quickly he was able to punch him in the head twice before Sean fell.
In his fucking head.
Fucking bent all the way back. Oh, it was a beautiful sight to see. I loved it. It was great. The last 2 fights were not as fun to watch. No fault of the champions per se. For Alexander, not really. Alexander put on.
How many times have we been over this though, DZAN? these guys are getting big money when they're in these pay-per-view main events. Even if it's the co-main, they're getting points from this. And they want to stay there because they like that money. I get it. I do. And if I'm Izzy and I can fight the way Izzy fights, why go in there for the fans? I get it. I mean, I want to see you bang, bro. Right. Yeah. But if I'm the fighter, it's a different outlook, man.
Yeah.
It's a completely different outlook.
Before we get to Izzy, Volkanovski had the best performance, against Holloway yet. And he put the nail in the coffin. He is the greatest featherweight. Go ahead.
It just real quick here. When you text me to ask me for my picks, that was the hardest one.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because my heart wanted Max so much. And I wanted to be wrong. As a matter of fact, we were sitting there on the couch. The old lady and I were sitting there watching it. And because I told her, she knows about our picks and all that.
Right.
So she always asked me before the fight, who did you pick for this one? And I said, well, I picked Volkanovski. I said, but I want to be wrong so much on this. Please. And
anytime I feel that way, Dirty, I know that I made a good pick because I totally went with my heart for this card, and it shows. Anytime I go with my heart heavily, it hurts. It hurts my heart. It fucking hurts.
And that one hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Because out of all of those fights, even Robbie Lawler, I knew better, right? With
Robbie.
Max, I had hope.
Exactly. Right. And that's truly because he's the best, you know what I mean? And it was a true passing of the torch for Holloway and Volkanovski. And I think that we can all say without reluctance that Volkanovski is the greatest featherweight of all time. Max held it well for a very long time, as did Aldo before him.
I still have Aldo as the greatest.
See, and I would say respectfully that when Aldo,
because it's 10 years.
Now that's what I was going to say. Respectfully, when Aldo lost the second time, that was the passing of the torch for me for Aldo Holloway, because then Holloway ran with it for 6, you know what I mean? So it wasn't as long as Aldo. Of course, everybody's going to be in Aldo's shadow. It's, you know what I mean? And you're not going to escape that.
You're 100% right. I don't think that record will ever be touched again. 10 years.
It's not going to happen. But
if you guys don't know what we're talking about, 10 years. The reason why
the McGregor and Aldo fight was so popular was only half because of McGregor. And that goes to show 100%. You how big Aldo was at that time. He got diminished hardcore after that loss. He got diminished heavily.
There was not a single person on this planet going into that fight, and I don't care who says, there was not a single person on this planet that could have saw what happened in that fight happened.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. Besides Connor in the fucking back when he did it 3 minutes before he went out and did it. Man, but yes, I think that we can say now this is the new era of, the greatest, featherweight, and he's looking to move up, and we'll talk about that here in a sec. But I
think he's too short for that, but yeah.
Let's get to Izzy, man. Israel Adesanya comes out looking like the Undertaker, and like the Undertaker, the dead man, he puts everybody to sleep after the 3rd round. My God. I love Israel Adesanya. He is my favorite champion. I was down with the walkout. I was hyped. After the 1st round, I was like, okay, filling out process.
Can I stop you for 1 second here? The Undertaker thing.
Yeah.
And man, why wasn't there a bigger pop? I thought that was off the fucking chains.
Oh yeah. It would have been huge in Texas, but Vegas, I don't know if that's a big, wrestling. I don't know. I don't know. It hasn't been, you know,
I just thought it was,
mainstream in a long time.
I thought that would have got a much bigger pop than it did.
I definitely think it was his best, you know, even, you know, barring that dance he did.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Say that dance
He did was really good, but this was fucking close, man.
Yeah.
This was because it was, you know, obviously if you didn't see the fight beforehand, it gave you chills because you're like, because you didn't know what was going to happen. Now, granted, a lot of people wrote my boy off. And he fought the same way he did Robert Whitaker, which is the absolute opposite that he needed to do in this fight. And he didn't bring a new cannoneer, and Izzy read it like a book and had his way with it, to be honest. And he
had his distance on him,
and he had the timing on him, and he stopped Cannonier in ways that Robert was doing as well in their fight that led to his victory. And it was, man, 100%. It was sad to watch. After the second round, I knew Izzy had his number, and Izzy is just that smart of a fucking fighter. I knew going into this that Cannonier was going to be more surprised than Izzy is. Izzy is going to be, he knows Cannonier's power moving from heavyweight because he fucking works with Volkanovski, who he used to be 215 fucking pounds, rugby player that has that kind of power. You know what I mean? So I knew he wasn't going to be shocked by the power, but the Cannonier was going to be shocked at how fast and powerful that Izzy is, because Izzy does not look powerful. But if you look at those punches that just ring off the side of guys' heads that look like nicks and it sends them down, you have a whole new level of respect. And I wish that he would have respected that more and approached it differently. Very disappointed in my man Cannonier. But
I don't
Izzy
know. I don't know if he could have done anything.
Izzy
just based on the way Izzy fought, I just don't know that Cannonier was ever going to get inside on him.
Yeah, and now in his defense, he got in 2 or 3 times, and it wobbled Izzy really badly against the cage. And I finally woke up. Yeah, get it. And then it backed off, and I went back to sleep. But yeah, I mean, and Izzy knew that wasn't his greatest fucking performance.
Oh, he said that. Yeah,
it was a bad night for him, and he still kicked his ass, which I wouldn't say. I mean, you kept him at bay for sure, and you stopped him. Yeah, I don't think that we can justify that as an ass whooping. No. Robert Whitaker, that was an ass whooping. When you knocked out Robert Whitaker, that was an ass whooping. You know what I mean? Robert Vittori too, that was an ass whooping. Yeah. So a little bit disappointed by the end of the night, but everything in between, Dirty. I mean, what a great
it was a great night
card, man.
It was a great
and
night.
We have another one at the end of this month. My wife is pissed. We have to get another fucking pay-per-view. She's like, July 30th. No. This one we just did this one. I'm like, yeah, but it's International Fight Week. So there's like 2. She's like, I'm sick of hearing the fucking words International Fight Week. You know what I mean? She's like, after this fucking week, I don't want to hear that shit again for another year. You won't, baby. All right, but Volkanovski versus Oliveira. Thoughts?
I don't know, man. Every time Volkanovski fights, I think he's gonna. Well, I don't think he's gonna lose necessarily.
No, but I don't think he has that big of a chance, and he surprises me every time.
Exactly.
So I don't know. I don't know.
If you're asking me, I'm gonna tell you, Oliveira is just too much for him on the ground, and Oliveira seems to be able to take anybody down that he wants.
Yeah.
So
it would be interesting.
But again,
it would be interesting.
Who knows, because every single time.
Yeah.
This is the first time I didn't pick against him.
Yeah. And you fucking nailed it, bro. 5-0. Good job. Good on you. Good on you. At the end of this fucking month, we get Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes 2, Kai Kara France versus Brandon Moreno. That's going to be a great fight to see who's going to face Figueiredo, for the title fight next. Before we get out of here, guys, I just want to talk about music for 1 minute. As you guys know, Eminem Snoop Dogg single came out, From the D to the L. What's wrong? You seem chagrined. What's wrong? From the D to the LBC.
I already reacted to this video. And
our fans here don't know this. What you react to things?
Yeah,
like,
I do. And
like
M killed it.
Oh yeah.
M slayed it.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop was like a fish out of water. He did not belong in there. Chopping is not his thing. It just didn't work for me, man, at all.
Now, in that video, just like you said right here, there's a big distinction between chopping and flowing, because people are all over the place on this. Oh, you guys don't know he was the grandfather of fast rap and chopping. No. He did the Sly stuff where he goes,
Right. It's a lot different.
It's very, very different. It's a whole different cadence. And yes, he had his pockets, but he was very off time. And he carried the tone as if he was laid back, but he spit it as if the tone was
said
off.
that in the middle of the song. It is that he was not in the pocket more than a few times.
Which I mean, Snoop Dogg is not known for keeping his timing.
No,
but when he's flowing,
but that's what I was saying in the video, though. I'm like, this is not what Snoop does.
Yeah,
this is not his thing. So you're kind of forcing a round peg in a square hole here, in my opinion. It wasn't so much that I was shitting on Snoop, in as much as it just didn't belong to him.
Right. It was kind of odd. It did feel a little out of place there.
It was shoehorned in there, something fierce, and listen, we know M shines in that stuff, but Snoop had no business in that. And in my opinion, if they wanted to bookend these two together like that, they should have just pulled the beat back, cut it in half for Snoop.
Right.
And let him do his thing. Yeah.
Right. That would have been
let
nice.
him flow.
And Snoop probably should have gone first, just for momentum, pace sake. But
that
Snoop
too.
being Snoop and Uncle Snoop, he wasn't about to have him go last on, again. Now, listen, we thought this was going to be for the, Westmore album. No, we thought it was going to be for maybe Snoop's joint. No, turns out this is actually going to be a single for M's project. What project is it? Not another album, unfortunately. This is going to be on the next greatest hits album, Curtain Call 2.
Bullshit.
As is confirmed by Eminem when he posted this song and he tweeted it. It said hashtag Curtain Call 2.
I just found this out before we started, guys. Yeah. I had no idea. I thought for sure we were getting an album.
Now, look, Curtain Call 1, I mean, after 12 years, the album was declared the longest running LP on Billboard. This is what
DZAN's going to do. He's going to defend his boy.
Of course. Oh, yeah, of course.
I get it. But the fact is that we need an album.
We do need an album.
Not a greatest hits.
No. But again, in his defense, the first greatest hits album was of M's first 4, albums. And now this one, he's had more albums now than he did before his first greatest hits. I don't want to hear anything about it, dirty motherfucking D. This is going to be a fantastic album, and you're going to listen to it, and you're going to love it.
I will.
Because half of the greatest hits on here you probably haven't heard, because you haven't reacted to all of his albums, Dirty D.
No, I know that, but
you're hearing Marshall Mathers 2 in pieces,
but which we're almost there.
It's all your fault, okay? You need to listen to a lot of.
I think there's only like 3 or 4 songs that we haven't listened to on MML.
You're absolutely correct. Listen, guys, thank you so much for watching on a week-to-week basis. We love your faces so much, and we will see you next week. Right, Dirty D? All right. Peace out, people.
Peace.
I have to freeze right here.
Peace, guys.